Well, this Pizza PE podcast is truly a testament of your coaching. Like Andrew said, you're a good coach. You really helped us. So let's get into the name Zagging.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so before I really met you, I did see that trending hashtag zagging, hashtag all zag all day, hashtag. I'm like, what is zagging? And I just kind of scrolled and didn't really pay attention too much. So can you go into the name Zag Pro Media, why the word zag, and what does it mean to zag?
Okay, so with that, this happened kind of over the spring of last year.
Okay.
So just to let you know, it's kind of a newer thing. And somehow we were talking in one of our meetings about, again, the need for changing direction. This was actually right around the time we were doing Chalk Your Walk at MoShape.
Yeah.
And
hashtag
so,
Chalk Your Walk.
Yeah. So we called that, I call that's kind of a zag move. And so just internally with our team, Anna was kind of the first, Forsalito, our president-elect at MoShape, was kind of the first one to, echo it back. And then I have to give all the credit here to her for that. And then Christy Spears, who was part of Spaker Spot, what she said to me, she's the one who kept saying about, is that a zag move? So every time we were evaluating what we were going to do, she said, well, does it zig or does it zag? And then finally, I got the courage to say, well, let's just call this zagging. Then, of course, me being my doctorate work coming in hand here, where I looked at the organic search of zagging, and I realized that it would pop up #1 in organic search if I use zagging or I use it as a hashtag zagging. And that's how we kind of birthed zagging, basically just to say it's a change of direction, a sudden change of direction. And obviously being a former football player, yes, you could references, hey, the running back was zigging, and then he made the zag. But the zag is what allowed him to score the touchdown. So we kind of take that mindset of just giving people and saying, hey, during the pandemic, when you're thinking about your social media, why don't you take a zag mindset or do a zag move? And then I have to say this, the all zag all day actually was coined by the president at the time of Minnesota Shape, as they asked me to be a keynote. The title was called Zag Talk, which is pretty cool. So it was titled was Zag Talk, Why Others Zig, We Zag. That was a keynote for the state of Minnesota. And Lisa Smith, their president, was saying all zag all day. And as soon as I heard it, I made it an instant hashtag, and we use it all the time. It's kind of like our mantra for letting everyone know that's an all zag all day move.
So you have done work with Missouri Healthy Schools, MoShape. You talked about Chalk Your Walk. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how Zag Pro Media has been, and you obviously working with MoShape on how to level up their influence? Talk to us about some of those projects that you do with them.
Yeah. So when this came back with Tom Lowry, our executive director, and myself, and we were able to do a national session that we did ourselves at MoShape. And we were joined with Joy Martelli of Shape America, who runs their social media. And we discovered that there was a lot of the people who were attending wanted more information, basically on how to learn more about social media, especially live streaming, as well as YouTube. So when we were doing the survey within that session, it became very apparent to us that people wanted more information. And that's when we said through MoShape that we were going to launch these live webinars. We called hashtag Zagging 101 to say, hey, this is an intro to this. And I never could have imagined that we would have done this for 12 straight weeks, especially like the first 8 were getting thousands of views every time we would go live. It was live. And then what we would do after the training of, say, 45 minutes, we would shut the camera or the recording off and then just talk. And that's what we were calling Zag Talk. And what was amazing is people like Terry Drain, president-elect of Shape America, and Brett Fuller, president of Shape America, said, this is some really great information. And that's when they actually gave us the idea of doing a master class. And so we started that right around July 4th.
Okay.
On Zagging 101. And again, these are just free live webinars. You can just sign up, anyone. And then we ran that all the way through basically the middle of the fall semester. And then we took a break, and that's when we were getting ready to launch in February Zag Pro Academy, because we already had the name Zagging 101, so people were familiar with it, except this time, Laura Beckman, our director of Missouri Healthy Schools, thought it would be a nice idea if we could fund it through the 1801 grant, because we are reaching out to leaders, certainly in our state, as well as all over the country, on helping them basically build their influence, their impact, and their advocacy. And that was kind of important. And so we've been very much supported by Missouri Healthy Schools by doing that. So that's how, I work with Mo Healthy Kids. That's basically how this came about. And now where you see Zag Pro Media, that's now going to be what happens next after the Zag Pro Academy ends this Sunday night. Then we'll be going with Zag Pro Media, which would mean we have a whole assortment of things we can do. We can do more Zagging 101s. We can do straight out Zag Talks that we're in discussions with and looking to do. Or we could just do, sessions, webinars, and drill down on whatever specific tools that, different people would like to learn about, even like what you're doing with podcasts, right? Like we would bring in a couple of the podcasters and have you, share with us regarding your experiences and give people the inside track. So we're really excited that we positioned the brand Zag Pro, into a meaning. Look, this is professional level training here. This is deep dive. This is very well researched. I mean, most of what we present on is not my opinion. And some of it's obviously taken from the publication that I've already, written on, that's published, based on the book from Human Kinetics. And of course, there's a new book in the works specifically directly to this topic. And why? There's not a whole lot of resources teaching people about how to advocate through digital and social media means. And that's kind of my niche, if you would. And so you've heard me talk before about niche. This is my niche. I want to help equip and develop, again, leaders looking to level up their influence, their impact, and their advocacy using digital and social media tools. And the reason being is because these tools continue to evolve, continue to change, and it's very difficult to keep up with all the different strategies, how you need to plan, the platforms, how the algorithms work, how you make it work for you, how you cut through all the clutter. I say we live in a six-second world. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But that's my field of study. This is my passion. And I simply exist to support, Kim, people like, you, Keith, and Andrew, because I want to help amplify what you do. And the best way I knew that I could do that is through training, and sometimes just I'm going one-on-one in some coaching. And that's what I do.
Yeah, well, we obviously thank you and Healthy Schools and MoShape like I said to our viewers, we are students of the class. And this podcast is a testament to the coaching that you have helped us level up our influence, not only within our own school district, but in school districts across the nation. So my plug for anybody who's listening to this, if you, watch the Zagging series, Zagging 101 series, and then when you offer that master class again, and I know you will be, sign up. I think I called you saying, is there going to be a wait list on this? Because I knew right away how important this content is, because Jamie Sparks told me once, former president of Shape America, he goes, Kim, there's a difference in teaching and advocacy skills. There is a different skill set for advocacy. So yes, you can be good at both, but there's a different skill set. And that resonated with me. And so that's one of the reasons why I gravitated to your masterclass series too. So thank you.
No, thank you. And certainly we appreciate it. I'll just give all our viewers a little heads up. We honestly were only looking for 10 people to sign up. That was it. And the reason being is the masterclass, because we put the word pro in it, we wanted to go a deeper dive. We wanted to get leaders that were committed. And with that, as opposed to the Zagging 101 webinars, right? There's a distinct difference between the two services, if you would. And we were hoping for 10, and we ended up getting something like 25. And the best part is not all of them are physical education teachers or leaders. We've got a nice group, eclectic group spread out throughout the entire country, including, one of our folks, is strong with the nursing community. As now I'm going to be speaking my first time ever, I think it's in a couple of months, I'll be speaking at a nursing conference on how they can use social media to level up their communication, say with parents and within their profession. So again, these principles, these concepts, and these best practice, so much of best practices are very universal
Yeah.
if you understand how to do that. And that's why it's been really kind of a very big blessing to be able to work now with all these different groups, whereas before it was pretty much, HPE. Now we've expanded our horizons. And this actually I have to give credit to Laura Beckman, the director of Missouri Healthy Schools, because she said we need to pivot, or then she would say, oh, I'm sorry, we need to zag. And that's how we've gotten where we're at today.